opening. Ever wanted to learn how to play chess but didn't know where to start? Well, you're in the right place. Chess is a classic two-player strategy board game that's been fascinating minds for centuries. The ultimate objective? To checkmate your opponent's king? That's right, corner their king so it has no escape. This simple yet complex game is a perfect blend of strategy and tactics. Closing. Now, let's dive into the basic setup of the chessboard and the pieces. Picture a chessboard in your mind, an 8x8 grid with 64 squares. Each player begins the game with 16 pieces, each with its unique placement and role. Now let's walk through the initial setup. The rooks, like protective towers, are placed at each corner of the board. Right next to the rooks, we position the knights, the game's agile jumpers. Adjacent to the knights, we place the bishops, masters of the diagonals. Now, for the royal couple. The queen takes her place on the remaining square of her color. Yes, if you're playing with the white pieces, your queen will be on a white square, and for black, a black square. The king, the heart of the game, takes the remaining square next to the queen. In front of these pieces, a line of 8 pawns, the foot soldiers of your army, ready to march forward. With the chessboard set, we move on to understanding how each piece moves. Each chess piece has its unique way of moving across the board. Let's start with the king, the heart of the game. The king can move one square in any direction, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. It's like the king owns the land immediately around him. Next, we have the queen, the most powerful piece on the board. She can move any number of squares in any direction, just like the king, but without the one square limitation. It's as if she has the freedom to roam the entire kingdom. The rooks or castles can move any number of squares, but only horizontally or vertically. They're like the towers of the kingdom, standing tall and moving in straight lines. Then we have the bishops, moving any number of squares diagonally, cutting across the board like angles of light. Knights, the horses of the realm, have a unique way of moving. They move in an L shape, 2 squares in one direction and then 1 square at a right angle. And unlike other pieces, they can jump over others. The pawns, the foot soldiers, move forward 1 square but capture diagonally. However, they have the option to move 2 squares forward on their first move. And if they reach the opponent's back rank, they can be promoted to any other piece except another pawn. There are also special moves like castling, en passant, and pawn promotion, adding another layer of complexity to this royal game. Understanding how each piece moves is crucial to planning your strategy. The main goal of chess is to checkmate your opponent's king. This means you need to put your opponent's king in a position where it's under attack and can't escape. Now, let's talk about the rules. Players alternate turns, with the player controlling the white pieces, typically going first. The game can end in several ways. The most common is checkmate, where a player's king is under attack and there's no legal move to escape. Stalemate is another way a game can end. This occurs when a player has no legal moves left and their king is not in check. In such cases, the game is declared a draw. There's also a draw by agreement, which happens when both players agree to end the game in a draw. Another rule is the threefold repetition, which means if the same exact position is repeated 3 times, the game can be declared a draw. The 50-move rule is another interesting one. If 50 moves are made without a pawn move or a capture, the game can be declared a draw. Lastly, there's the rule of insufficient material to checkmate. This means that if it's impossible for one player to checkmate the other due to a lack of pieces, the game is declared a draw. Remember, you can't move your king into check, and if your king is attacked, you must move out of check. These are the fundamental rules of chess. As you play more, you'll develop strategies and tactics to outmaneuver your opponent. Chess is a game of skill, planning, and strategy. From setting up your pieces on the 8x8 grid to mastering the unique movements of the king, queen, rook, bishop, knight, and pawn. Special moves like castling, en passant, and pawn promotion add layers of complexity, while the ultimate goal remains to checkmate your opponent's king. As you delve deeper into the game, you'll craft your strategies and tactics. Remember, it can take a lifetime to master chess, but the journey is filled with exciting challenges and intellectual growth. So why wait? Start your chess journey today.